Yes. Okay, now it's... Okay, now everything's working well. Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, I imported different settings onto OBS and it didn't have the audio input capture, but that's fine. It's fixed now. Well, anyway, I'm going to be making a dexterity pyro build. So I'm going to take a look at all the different job classes I have. This person, they're all like, oh, you're the face of an undead. Tell me, can you remember your name? And I'm all like, okay, let's go with Robin, because that's the name I had for the previous guy. Actually, let's make it a little different. Let's go with Robin, but let's put in a different spelling just to make it different. Let's put a Y in. Why not? Robin with a Y. Robin. Anyway, gift. I usually go with healing wares. Let's see. Seal of a Tree of Giant, Homeward Bone, Healing Wares, Human Effigy, Life Ring. All these are okay, but I feel like the best ones are either the Bonfire Aesthetic, Petrified Something, or the Healing Wares. You know what? I enjoy Healthy Challenge. This time, let's go with the Bonfire Aesthetic. Let's take a look at all the different stats here. We have the Warrior, High Strength, High Dexterity. Knight, Moderate Strength, Moderate Dexterity, High Health. Swordsman, Moderate Strength, High Dexterity, Low Health. Basically, the Swordsman is your High Dex class. Bandit, High Dexterity, Decent, Faith, but low attunement, like the lowest possible attunement out of all the classes. Swordsman attunement is only at 2. Cleric has Hammer, has Striking Weapon, the Mace, has High Faith, Moderate Attunement. Sorcerer has the highest attunement out of all the starting classes. Let's take a look at how Swordsman compares to the Cleric. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Swordsman. Okay, gift. I already went with the Bonfire Aesthetic. Let's go with the body. Let's make the guy a man. Let's give him a normal build. Make him muscular. Why not? Let's go with Homeland. Let's go with the white guy Homeland, but let's make him look less like a sad sack. For the hair, gonna go with the braided updo. For the hair color, gonna make this all green to match his armor. Eyebrow color. Let's go with green. Eye color, let's go with dark green. What if I go with a brighter green? Oh my god, that's way too bright. These are all way too bright. Yeah, but I mean, you know. What if I go with this, but I make the green just slightly brighter? That works. Let's not give him a beard. The reason why I'm hesitant to give him a beard is because I don't want him to look like a bearded lady. Huh, that's weird, the beard isn't showing up. Well, regardless, let's not worry about that. Tattoo. I personally like the Celtic tree tattoo. For the tattoo color, let's make it a bit of a darker brown just so that it can be seen. I don't know about having an ass cheek. Let's go to advanced settings overall. Let's go with skin color. Let's give him a slightly darker skin tone. Like that. Give him a bit of healthy color. All those are fine the way they are. Laugh lines, cheek color, hair color. All I really want to mess with are the tattoos. Okay, position 1. Position 2. Let's bring this upper. Let's have it be a forehead tattoo. Move it a bit more to the left. Let's increase its opacity a teeny bit more. The only problem with that is it's going to be hardly seen because it's intruding with the hairline. Let's bring it more to the right. Let's go with position 2 and let's bring it down a bit more. Let's bring it a lot more to the right this time. You know what? How about we just forget the tattoo? Doesn't make sense where it's placed anyway. Okay, class and gift. I made him the swordsman. Good. Let's finalize creation. You know what? Before I finalize it, let's change out the gift. Maybe put in a petrified something, and let's see if I can get something good from the crows. Sure, let's do that.
All people come here for the same reason.
To break the curse.
The curse.
Well, that's just what these guys continue their dialogue.
Different, I should think. Doesn't stand a chance.
Please.
But you never know.
Okay, well, they're just gonna keep on laughing at me. And over here is the woman that takes care of them.
A link between Drangleic, Virgin Fires, this loss.
Huh? What's with my skin tone? Why do I look so pale? That's so weird. I thought I changed up my skin tone. Oh well, I'm gonna be running around as this pale dude then. No problem. My face is gonna be covered up half the time anyway. So, okay, human effigy. Now, the first thing I want to do is I want to get as many, just gonna break that open. First thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get some, Seed of the Tree of Giants. Anyway, since I have the petrified something, might as well go through here and see if I can interact with the crow's nest. Let me change something here first. You, get out of my way. Okay, now that he's dead, let's go back here to OBS. Let's click on this and let's change its position. There, that way it's not blocking my souls. Okay. Let's continue. So all over Drangleic, you're going to be finding a whole ton of hollows. They're people who succumb to the undead curse. They look like decaying zombies, where in Dark Souls 1 they looked, well, horribly mutated, and in Dark Souls 3 they just look like they're dehydrated. Yes, it shows in Dark Souls 3 hollowing has had less of an effect on people's well-beings and are now just purely aesthetic. Over there we have a dagger. Daggers are good if you want to, daggers are good if you want to try and do backstab farming. Scimitar's a pretty good weapon early on. Honestly, when it comes to playing this game, I like playing as a swordsman. You get access to some good weapons early on. An upgraded short sword, an upgraded long sword. You don't really get much in as far as defenses are concerned, but at the same time there really is only one class in this game that starts out with a shield anyway. And it's ironically the one that has a broken weapon. So it's like as though Dark Souls is trying to tell you something. Either focus less on guarding and focus more on spacing, is what I think it is anyway. Let's just go over here to the crow's nest, let's kick down this ladder to allow for easy access later on. Hang on a minute. What is going on here? Is it not getting, hold on, add. It's an audio output capture. And I don't know, let's go with the speakers maybe? Because I don't know why, but it's not getting the audio. I don't think it's getting the audio from the game. Or it could just be crazy. Media source. Yeah, audio output capture, and now it's getting... Yeah, now it's getting the audio from the game. I don't know what is going on with it. I'm guessing since I'm using OBS and not Streamlabs, it's just not automatically set everything to capture. Anyway, with these guys, you just use something like the petrified something. See what they give me. White ring. Not the best. So basically the way that the crows work is that you trade in smooth and silky stones, or large smooth and silkies, or petrified somethings, or what have you. And in return, they give you items depending on what you give them. If you give them a smooth and silky, basically the way that goes is it goes petrified something. They usually give you worthless shit like rubbish or weak souls. Sometimes low-grade upgrade materials. If it's something larger like a silky stone or a smooth and silky or large smooth and silky, they'll give you better items. And the best thing that you can possibly give them is the petrified something, because with the petrified something... Okay, right now I'm going to collapse OBS, knowing that's recording everything, and I'm going to collapse YouTube too. Okay. Yeah, now that I know that everything's recording just fine, I can just put the game on and not worry about the game lagging. Okay, let's light the bonfire here, and let's go get an item from around here. There's a special covenant I can join called the Company of Champions. I will consider joining that. Not right now, though. There, just be a cheeky prick. And when it comes to the next area, what I'm going to focus on doing is I'm going to focus mainly on... First, I'm going to talk to the Emerald Herald. I'm going to talk to Salden and Malden, and then I'm going to go talk to the blacksmith.
Are you?
She's like, are you the next monarch, pawn of fate?
I will remain by your side. Take this.
She gives us a Estus
Go
flask.
on. He who King Vendrick.
She wants us to find King Vendrick.
There are for you will never seek the there's so once you so that is that it here to see how it.
And if you find an Estus shard, you give it to her and she enhances your Estus flask with it. All well and good. For right now, what I'm going to focus on doing is I'm going to focus on trying to get 10,000 souls and then spending it with this merchant that you find later on in the forest.
It is and in Drang Lake.
And this is Salden. He's the leader of the Wave of Blue.
Do even any what do you to be we and the arrow and we if that do you the you if when you protect.
Anyway, he lets you join the Wave of Blue. If you join it, you get their signet ring, the sign of the blue. It's a pretty okay, or the blue seal.
That is all. People let the sentinel.
Anyway, not important. If you get the blue seal, it's a pretty good ring. It basically lets you increase your health slightly. Oh no, it's a ring. It's rings. Let's put that on. It makes us look like a white phantom, the white ring that we got from the birds. Over here we have blacksmith lemongrass.
I packed the nose. I'm bring.
He's a blacksmith and he needs his tools. But for right now, that's not very important. I'm gonna rest up at the bonfire. And I'm gonna travel to each of the forest. My first priority is going to try and get 10,000 souls, because if you spend 10,000 souls with the merchant hag, Melentia, she will she will give you the coveted silver serpent ring +1. The way that the rings work in this game is that there's the base level, then you get a +1 variant and a +2 variant. The +1 variants in this game are usually gifted to you by NPCs after either progressing through their quest line, or if they're a merchant, spending a certain amount of money with them. For right now, I'm going to put this on my hand. And I'm going to be running around mainly with the short sword, because the short sword has pokes, and pokes come handy against most enemies. Let's go here. In this box, you'll find a human effigy, same as a human effigy box in the Twix. Over here, you get a hard bone. The thing that really blows about the swordsman is that you're basically a glass cannon. You have high dexterity and powerful weapons early on, but you don't have that much health. You have decent defenses as a result of your armor, but that's what I mean when I say that pokes are important. When you're fighting an enemy like the ogre, basically, the way that it works in this game is that there are different types of damage you can do against enemies. The short sword has pokes, and also these guys sometimes drop materials, and also they drop souls sometimes. Anyway, the short sword is a very good weapon to have early on. You find one, as well as its big brother, the long sword, in this area. But the swordsman starts out the short sword automatically, so you don't have to worry about that. Oh, there's a player here. Why don't I summon him? Voice set. Summoning failed. Someone has already used the summon sign. That's fine. For whatever reason, Heights Tower Phone is a popular spot for this, which is the other starting area. Okay. White gem. Cut. Pick up their earthly remains. Once I get the means to farm, I'm definitely going to try farming that ogre for some awe stones. You get awe stones by joining the Company of Champions, and then you use the, basically when you join the Company of Champions and you fight stronger enemies in the area, like say enemies like the ogre in the Forest of the Fallen Giants, or enemies like the Rat Vanguard. Although I don't think the Rat Vanguard are considered stronger enemies, but regardless. Fighting stronger enemies in the area will, while having the Company of Champions equipped, will add a new item to their drop pool. That item is the Awe Stone, and the Awe Stone are the items for that covenant. So basically, to get into the farming setup for this, first let's get a throwing knife from this guy. Why not? If you try to, oh no. Okay, good, I survived. If you try to fight these, hollow soldiers the normal way, like, honestly, these guys, that infantryman standing on top there will throw firebombs at you. I think I got a life gem from that guy. That's an example of a backstab. Part of me wants to try using the dagger to see what that can do against these guys. Probably won't do much, but you know, probably do something. Dagger is mainly good for backstab fishing. And then also try using its parry. It also has decent poke damage and good dex scaling, so you know, if you want a moderate weapon for a dexterity build and you want to try focusing on critical hits, the dagger is not a bad choice. Its base damage is atrocious though, just be warned of that. That body has a cracked sword. Broken straight swords are the basic weapon in this game. Oh, hello there. The good thing about the dagger is that its strong attack is a stab, along with the straight sword. So if you want to try poking enemies, the dagger is also a good pick. Just stay at a moderate distance and just poke away. And it's like a constant poking with its strong attack. It's not like with... Well, honestly, in this game, if a weapon has a poking strong attack, it will continue to have a poking strong attack the majority of the time. Perfect example of this, longsword. Utilizing the longsword, some one-handed moveset, all of its attacks are slashes. Using the longsword's two-handed moveset, all of its normal attacks are slashes, and all of its strong attacks are stabs. In case of the dagger, it's kind of like a tinier version of the short sword, in that all of its small attacks, light attacks are slashes, and all of its heavy attacks are stabs. I like how in Dark Souls 3 they changed up a bit with the dagger, and how it's in how now all of its attacks are when you two-hand it starts out with a lunging poke, and then from there it does a series of harder jabs. I mean, not jabs, a series of harder strikes. Good thing about the dagger, its crit modifier is amazing. Same for the rapier. That's where I'm gonna get the rapier first chance I get. Anyway, all infantrymen here. Okay, took him out. I'm gonna pop a life gem. I could try utilizing a Estus shard, but honestly, I could try using the Estus flask, and honestly, it'd be less of a waste, all things considered, but problem with the dagger is that its range is shit. That's really the only negative, though. Everything else about this weapon is amazing. First thing I'm going to do for this guy is I'm going to first prioritize increasing my strength high enough to utilize the fire longsword I'm going to get here with 1 HP. From there, I'm then going to raise my attunement and my intelligence and my faith. For the intelligence and faith, the important thing to do is to try and get them both up to 20. Because as you saw with the other guy, Robin, he wears the Hexer's Hood. And the Hexer's Hood is a piece of equipment you can only get if you talk to Falcon the Outcast while having your intelligence and faith up to, at the very least, 20. I believe if it's at or around 15, maybe? I know that he definitely talks to you at 15 faith. Could probably be at about as low as 10, but honestly. Falcon specializes in selling you hexes. Okay. Gonna put this thing on here. I'll also try using Morningstar. There's a hammer with bleed. To utilize it, I would need to equip them both hands, though. I mean, honestly, I feel like that would be better than using utilizing the mace. I mean, utilizing the dagger. Jesus, I can't English today. Anyway, that's the merchant head, Malentia. She's all like, buy something, please, buy anything. She's really just trying to guilt trip us into spending money with her. Here we have hollow soldiers. Sometimes that hollow infantryman will, can I drop something? No, it just has touch pool. Okay. Sometimes you'll see gray shades. Those gray shades are other people playing this game. Oh, I missed the jump. Oh well. Nothing untoward. So be careful here, because some enemies here that deal good damage to anyone who utilizes, well, basically they're just enemies that deal good damage, period. Those would be the hollow, I mean not hollow, but those would be the, Ironclad Knights. I like to call them Turtle Knights, because they look like turtles. Dash, dash, dash. Dash, dash. They're dead. Everything is dead. Continue along my, crusade of bloodshed. If you're wondering how I look like a phantom, it's because of the white ring I got from the, crows. That ring lets you, take on the appearance of the Phantom. There's an ironclad here, got his attention utilizing a, dagger. If you're lucky, you can try to farm them to get their equipment. There we have the foot soldier shield. It's a very lightweight shield. Even I can use it with my low strength. Big priority here is to get over here and make sure to open the door before the salamander shoots fireballs at you, because those fireballs hit hard, and opening the door gives you invulnerability. And in that box we have the fire longsword. Did he get hit by the fire at all? No, he did not. What the hell, man? Get hit by the fire. Or not. Always good to roll away from these guys right when they're about to attack, because then they can be saying shit like that to you. Maybe there was a hollow soldier here. If you're intrepid enough and want to try farming them for souls, you could try to farm the salamander. Wouldn't recommend it though. I'm getting nearly enough souls. Not the end of the world though. There are other opportunities to get souls. The important thing I want to get from Valencia is the merchant's hat. That's a hat you get from her. It increases your item find rate. In layman's terms, your item find rate is how lucky you are at finding shit. How much strength do I need to use the longsword? 10. And how much strength do I have? 9. I literally need 1 more strength to use this. Anyway, let's go here. The easiest way to farm for souls in this area would probably be fighting the... I'm going to abandon you, dear. Just let me buy a club from you and a hat. And a key so that I can talk to the goodly blacksmith. So with Valencia, always remember to... spend 4,000, I mean not 4,000, spend 10,000 souls to her, because if you spend 10,000 and then chat with her, she'll give you the coveted silver ring.
I'm a bring.
So I just need 8,000 souls.
Bring.
Oh yeah, I already have the key here. So with Lemongrass Forge, so now you can access Lemongrass Forge and all the items that he has to sell. In this box you have a short bow, but sadly there are no arrows. In order to get arrows, you can buy some from the blacksmith. So now after you do that, if you just rest up, he'll open up shop. He'll be like, I am Lemongrass, I'm a blacksmith, and you are, and then he's like, ugh, another flirtatious vagabond. Anyway, with this setup, I want to have that there, and maybe have another short sword on my offhand. There we go. Now we can talk to him and get some better weapons.
You. The name. And you are a man ought to labor with his feet planted, not roam around like you flirtatious vagabonds. Oh, what does it matter? Your equipment. Let me have it.
He sells some pretty good equipment. He sells the falchion, the estoc, spear, battle axe, mace. I'm personally partial to the spear myself. Not say that none of these weapons are bad, far from it, a lot of them are quite good. Considering that the main enemy I'm going to be fighting for right now is going to be that,
I'll be around.
the main enemy I'm going to be fighting is going to be that, I'm blanking out on the name, the Ogre. I'm going to also join the Company of Champions, and I'm also going to put on this hat to hopefully increase my chances of finding good items. If anything, I should have the bow on my offhand and have this on my main hand. Falchion's a good weapon. It lets me do barrage slashes, and it also has bleed built into it for some reason. Would have made sense if all bladed weapons in this game had bleed in them. But I digress. Anyway, this is the Victor Stone. It'll ask you 3 times if you want to join this, and when you join the Company of Champions, it basically puts the game in a fake New Game Plus level. And now I'm going to try to farm for awe stones. The amount that you want to try to get is 30. With 30 awe stones, you get a ring called the Victor's... Or, no, not the Victor's ring. It's called the, I think it's called like the Conqueror's Sigil or the Conqueror's Sign. It's a ring that when you put it on, basically allows you to punch enemies with your fists, like if you had a cestus equipped. But it has better scaling than the cestus. Or the caestus, I should say. Much better scaling than caestus. The reason why I have this, why I have the falchion on right now is because it has built-in bleed, and built-in bleed is good fighting against this thing. And now because I have champion and stuff, yeah, that thing is going to be much more aggressive. one easy way to deal with him is to get behind him, he'll bait him to sit on you as he's crushing you, and as long as you're behind him, he'll continue to try and sit on you. Use that to your advantage. Keep him from getting to you. The good thing about the Falchion is that it has built-in bleed. For whatever reason, the Scimitar does not. Even though the Falchion has... And yeah, you see here, I get not just the Soul of a Proud Knight, but I also get an Ostone. I'm going to see if I can get 10 of those. From that thing. Let's see, 120 plus 36, 121 plus 37, Scimitar is better. So I might as well take this off then. Because, yeah, built-in... Oh, I get invaded by a Dark Spirit. Rid Gamer Ooh. Might as well be polite. Hello, Mr. Rid Gamer Ooh. You have no honor whatsoever, good sir. Also, he is invading a very early area. He's utilizing a lot of late game magic. Okay, now he bowed. Let's do this like men, shall we? Let's do this like men who give a shit, shall we? Oh my god, he is really a coward for this area. Is it because I have the Is it because I have the Covenant on that he's fighting me like this? Okay, since he's not anymore. Oh, he has the Black Witch's Staff. That's how he's able to do all that. I'm guessing he's a Hexer. Good for him. Oh, well, whatever. Dying in this game is pretty cheap if you can make it to where your souls are. So I'm going to try to see if I can get some Moss-stones from this guy. Wouldn't mind getting a, one area I wouldn't mind going to is the gutter, so I can get enchanting crossbow. Scales with intelligence and faith, and it allows you to shoot dark orbs out of it. He's done for. Let's go with these guys. Good thing about the Scimitar, it's a slashing weapon, and since this guy doesn't have any armor on, he's very much weak to slash. Also, when he hits you with that crushing sit attack, he got me. Oh well. Like I said, death is cheap if you can get to your souls in time. Leather shield preferred by hunters, inferior to metal shields, but offers decent defense. That is good. And got a throwing knife from him. That's cool. Now we have great trinkets over here. Try to get him to get on us. Yeah, well, it worked, almost. Come on, do your sit thing again. Dead. Didn't drop anything this time. Not the end of the world. Let's take a look at my soul memory. Yeah, that makes sense. I spent 4,000 souls from launch. I spent like 4,000 in total, so that makes sense. Let's pop all these. Pop this one. And this one. Now I have 6,000 souls. I can go back to Militia. Maybe wait until I get a bit more. Also, a good thing about Company of Champions. Enemies, when you're in Company of Champions, they constantly respawn. Whereas in base game, if you kill an enemy or group of enemies 12 times, like, rest up, kill the enemy, rest up, kill the enemy, because resting on a bonfire resets everything. Killing enemies 12 times will cause them to despawn completely. like maybe he doesn't defeat me. There are occasions where he'll try to do that on his slam attack. There are basically three variants of the slam attack. One where he smacks you twice. Once where he smacks you twice and falls over, and once where he smacks you 3 times. Another soldier crowd knife, that's good. Let's pop it. So I want to immediately go spend some shit with Melancha. And while I'm here, I might as well hike all the way back over there. Put on my Estus. Chug chug. I have 10k souls now. It's perfect. Okay. This guy's gonna try to stab me with arrows. I'm gonna try to cut him through with an axe. And it didn't work. I could try jumping at that platform there to try and get some knives. Regardless. Let's climb up here, wait for the soldier to come down. There he is. That's the full heavy attack combo with the curved sword. You slash and then you do like a leaping double slash. It's very flashy and it works. At the very least I got an Ostone. So the way that the Ostones work is that they increase by increments of 10. 0 puts you out at rank 1. 10 gets you to rank 2, 20 gets you to 4. I don't know if it goes 10, then you need 20 on top of that 10, or if it goes 10 and then 10 more to make 20, and then 10 more to make 30. I'm not sure. One thing I do know is I'm not too careful with soldiers. Still kill me. Well, let's pick up their items. Infantry helmet, throwing knife. One thing I really like about having the merchant's hat, it increases your item find chance, so it increases the likelihood of enemies both dropping items and dropping rare items on top of it. Another broken straight sword. It's clear that those weapons were put there to lull you into a false sense of security. It's like, oh, all these corpses are here, but some of them have items. It's a trap. These hollow soldiers are just plain dead to get your attention. Scimitars at risk, not a big deal. I'll just switch to short sword. With the knife-wielding hollows, if you can get them to drop it, they can drop the bandit's knife, which is a decent weapon. It's a knife, so it's fast, but it also has built-in bleed. I don't know why all bladed weapons have built-in bleed, but hey. Okay. He got me. Nothing important with him. At this point, it probably would be easier if I hike back in reverse, but I don't want to do that. Just go up normally and hopefully I don't die. In fact, it's not as long-lived as a standard sign soapstone. Yeah, the small white sign soapstone is more than you can use to make a summon sign for people to contact you. It functions identically to the standard white sign soapstone. The only difference is the small one. It makes it so that your mark is smaller, and I believe what that does in game is that maybe it makes it so that when you reach out to so many people at once, or I don't know, does something like that. Well, either way, I have a shield, but I don't need it. So, That's a good thing about using the short sword. It gives you double pokes. Okay. Let's take this up. Could also try using a fire longsword. And you know what? I think I'm gonna use the fire longsword. The only problem with it is I don't have enough strength to use it at the moment. So that means that I need to two-hand. But by two-handed, I mean wielding both hands, as opposed to dual wielding, which is wielding one weapon in each hand and attacking with both of them at the same time. Swordsman is painfully close to doing that with the short sword anyway. The way that dual wielding works is that you need 1.5 times the stat requirements for the weapon in order to wield one in each hand and use them both properly. Hello there. And goodbye. Okay, and then I believe from there you can land safely to the bottom. Just by doing that. Good thing about the longsword. Wielding it in both hands lets you do a constant stat requirement. Ow. Ow. Screw it. This was a mistake! I am getting to my souls. I am not dying to these guys while losing access to all of my souls. That is not going to happen today. That is not going to happen. That is not going to happen. On a brighter note, I am much closer to the second bonfire than I was before, so it'll be much easier for me to just go to the second bonfire, come over here, and get my souls. That was the whole plan all along, because I'm not losing 10,000 souls. To do that, let's just travel to the second bonfire here, the Cardinal Tower. And from there we just go outside, mark a bunch of hollows, and get my stuff. Shard of an Estus Flask. Shards are soaked in a liquid flame. That's basically what the Estus is. I believe it's Latin for liquid flame. Maybe this is meant to describe some kind of incendiary agent like gasoline when it's lit on fire. I don't know. Okay. Got my souls back. Now let's do a few. There we go. Now let's do a few. Marvelous. Now let's go up here. And now let's go talk with Mullinshaw. You? She's like, you again, he. And I'm like, yes, it is me again. I'm gonna get a freaking branch of yore from her. And...
Lively tongue.
Okay, either your memory is atrocious or you're just messing with me because I just spent 12,000 souls to you. Okay, now from here I'm gonna drop the Company of Champions. Just so I can have an indicator of what it is I'm doing here. Smooth, silky stone. Perfectly smooth and silky rock. Used to restore health. Yeah, unlike the petrified some things, the smooth and silkies actually have a practical purpose in that they can heal you. That's just about it. Like, they can heal you.
Do you? It's
Sure, I'll enter your covenant. If you talk to Solden, he can teach you the welcome gesture.
May you find peace on.
Anyway. One thing I want to do now is to try and make it around to the other side of the wall in the Cardinal Tower. There is a shield I want to get in Heinz Tower Flame, and I hope that I will have enough material to get it. Said a shield is the... Well, anyway, the shield that I can get in Hyde's Tower of Flame is a Twin Dragon Shield. It's a shield with excellent physical and magic defenses for being a metal shield. Because basically in this game, for whatever reason, wooden shields offer better defense than all forms of magic. Makes sense for electricity. Makes some sense for just raw magic, since it's, you know, just raw magic. It's its own element. It makes sense for dark, as much sense as it does for magic and lightning, but it doesn't make any sense for fire, as to why wooden shields have good fire resist. That doesn't make any sense at all. Anyway, when it comes to going through this area, it's best to drop off there, start at this little area, and just run around this place and deal with all the enemies here. You're a marksman. If you get too close for them to hit you with your arrows, they will switch to utilizing weaponry, and that's what you want to do. The way that you progress through here is you just run the hell around like a monkey. Capture out the hollow soldiers in a timely fashion. Take out the marksmen by either killing them before they have a chance to shoot at you, or get so close that they can shoot at you. And the important thing to do is to get to this cave. As you see, somebody pushed a boulder that ended up killing a hollow. And that person was none other than dear cartographer Kale. Amber herb. Amber herbs increase your, the amount of, tongue butthole because he's kneeling. Anyway.
My name is...
So the deal with the herbs is if you pop them, it increases your spell charges. So say you have a fireball that has 9 spell charges. You use up 4 of them and you pop an herb, it'll recover, I believe, 3 charges. Anyway, this guy's like, oh, I'm a squatter. I came to the mansion, and he's like, oh, you were looking at the map too? If you were into cartography, why didn't you tell me?
Oh, I would like something. I'll be back, perhaps we...
He's like, okay, I'll be back in the Jewel soon, maybe we'll meet again. And at which point, there are going to be a lot of messages telling you that there's treasure down this hole, but there isn't any treasure. That's the hole that was bored through by the boulder when Kale pushed it. So falling down that hole will just kill you. Like, immediately. Instant death. And nobody wants that. Well, I mean, except for somebody that you want to murder. In which case, you would want that. When it comes to the marksman, the easy thing to do to avoid their attacks is to just roll right as the arrow is about to, like, I don't really know how best to describe the rolling animation. I don't know if it's roll right as the arrow is about to hit you, or roll right as they loose the arrow. But either way, you can dodge the arrows that they shoot at you. Maybe this is where I want to go. Let's drop off here. And yes, it is. There's a closed portcullis here, and at that closed portcullis you will find on one side, I believe that was a Titanite shard, which is a pretty good find. Anyway. Going to climb up. And the way that you get to the normal path is you just walk over here. And... oh no, wait, it's not here, it's on the house. You climb up to the top of this roof, walk over, and it leads you right back to the entrance from where Malencha was. And then from here, there are going to be some tricky enemies. The trickiest of which is that thing that is an old ironclad. If you want to try cheesing them, one thing you could try doing is, First I try getting them to to smack their giant hammers against the ground near those barrels, because as you saw, their hammers spark against the ground as it fights. What just happened? Okay, the game froze. Okay, easy fix. Since I have an autosave, if I terminate the game and then restart it, should be able to work just fine. Ignore that, that's just the basic background for the for that. That's just the basic background, just as like a placeholder for this. If I'm correct, yeah, it's getting the game again. Good. How long is the streaming going on for? 53 minutes. Okay. Well, anyway, I'm just gonna go back here. I'll hold on to the other guy too. I gave them different names because A, it'll be easier to differentiate between them. If God forbid I ever want to go back. Ignore that. I would like to say ignore the marksman, but sadly you can't. Sadly, Estus in this game is painfully slow because the amount of time it takes to chug an Estus, as well as everything else, is determined by a heart stat. Anyway, as you see over here, there are explosive barrels near a wall. What you do is you blow those barrels up, whether it be with a firebomb or with a... Ow. So you blow those barrels up, whether it's with a firebomb or with a weapon that's infused with fire, like my sword, and it blows up that wall, allowing you to run around here and access the other side. And I want to rest up here because I'm going to try my hand at fighting the Pursuer, and it is not going to be fun. Anyway, there are two hollow soldiers over here, both of them are spearmen. How many knives do I have? I have 3. Hopefully that's enough to do what I need to this guy. When I do what I mean kill him. The good thing is his reflexes are quite poor. It takes 2, Come on. That's what I wanted to show off. Since his weapon sparks against the ground as he strikes with it, you can use that to your advantage and have him blow up those barrels around him, doing some pretty good damage. But if you're caught in the explosion, it'll also do some good damage to you. Be aware of that. Someone's calling me. Somebody is a telemarketer. Coming up next is a Pursuer. He's a bit of an ass to deal with, but thankfully I have the ring on, so... What I recommend you do if you want to try fighting the Pursuer, or any boss for that matter, is to have the ring on that increases the amount of souls you get. So with the Pursuer, my main strategy for dealing with him is to bait him into doing a dash attack. That works too. When his sword glows like that, he'll try to stab you with it. And if he stabs you with it, it'll do a ton of dark damage and curse you at the same time. Ugh, hit me there. Yeah, he's gonna kill me. Not today, not today. Fire Longsword's a good weapon to utilize against him. Any weapon really is, though. One important thing to remember with the Pursuer, if you got him down to about halfway of his health, he'll, like, clench his chest in, and he'll launch this attack where he, like, launches a crap ton of, dark orbs at you. And those dark orbs will curse you. When it comes to his slash attack, always dive in the direction of where the slash is coming from, and not the direction of where the slash is going, because if you dive into the direction of where the slash is coming from, that'll give you more time to compensate with the invulnerability frames, but if you dive into where the slash is going, there's a good chance that you won't be able to compensate with the invisibility frames, and you will take the full hit. Doing some good damage against him, though, which is good. Okay, he has that attack there, where he will try to, manage to dodge that somehow. Another good weapon to use, another good tool to utilize in these fights are the life gems. They're faster to utilize than Estus, and they... Basically, with Estus, imagine it healing a moderate amount of your health all at once. With the life gems, depending on the size of the life gem, it heals either a small amount of health or a moderate amount of health, but it does so very slowly. Come on, show off the clench attack. Come on, do the clench. Wasn't able to do the clench, but I did get his soul in his rings and all the souls that he drops. Also, the Pursuer is the first real boss fight of the game. You could try to fight him early on. If you win, good for you, you get all of his swag early. If you don't, you can fight him in his normal arena later. So anyway, there we have some repair powder. Going to equip the ring that I got from him, which is the Ring of Blades. Ring of Blades is a good ring and increases the damage you deal to enemies. Here you have some hollowed soldiers shooting a ballista. Anyway, going to pop a life gem. These guys are annoying. Easy-ish way to deal with them is to just get in relatively close when they're doing their attacks and then stab. The problem is they're using, I believe, are standard great swords. They can poke with it, even though you can't poke with the bastard sword that they're using, which is insane. You should be able to poke with it. Why wouldn't you be able to poke with it? Okay, they managed to blow up all the shit there. That's good. Go up here, we get the spell Great Soul Arrow, and from here we get the large soul of an undead and a shield. If we go down here, there's a sconce that we can light, but there are other ways of lighting the areas I will show you later. Okay. So, traps, chests sometimes have traps in them. If the trap that comes out has white smoke, that means that it's a ballista. With the ballista, it's pretty easy to deal with. Just try to get in the section between where the bolts fire, or get behind the trap itself, because the bolts only really fire in a 180-degree arc. Come on, get over here. I'm not too worried about lighting the area with that sconce though, because there are other ways that you can light it. Oh nice, I managed to break his guard. And I got a critical one. That's good. Well, anyway, in here you're going to find a chest. Inside of it is I believe it's the life ring. Yes, life ring and a large titanite shard. That's good. The life ring basically functions identically to the blue seal. It increases your health, but it offers a greater health gain than the blue seal. And also there's a Pharaoh's device here. I'll show you what you can do with that in a minute, but first, let's hope that I can get through all of the hollows in this area. Let's swap this out for a different weapon. Let's swap it out for Morningstar. Hopefully I'll have enough strength to utilize Morningstar normally. Anyway, over here we have Pate. Let's chat with him.
Hello there. Traveling all alone in these treacherous times. Well, I hope you have a very good reason. Oh, hogwash. Who am I to judge?
A person with a spear clipping through his head.
My name is Pate. I journey hither and thither. Be careful. Oh, yes. There's treasure in there for certain. But the
Yeah, he
entrance
mentions that
locks
there's
for
treasure in
I
this
saw
room.
the same design earlier. I was with this warrior, you see. The rather brusque fellow tried to swipe the loot. I still have the gent. I'll leave this one.
Anyway, he says, I'll leave this to you. We're gonna find that brusque fellow that he's referring to soon enough. That brusque fellow is none other than Creedon the Wanderer. Old traveling companion and now potential murderer. Basically, Pate and Creighton are both murderers. Creighton murders out of compulsion. Pate murders out of greed. Basically, he's this game's equivalent to Patches. As if it's not obvious by him having a name that is... What is the word I'm thinking of? Two words that have the same starting consonants. I think it's consonants that I'm thinking of. His name is consonant with Patches, both of them starting with P, and they both utilize spears. And they're both lying crooks and murderers. Although Pate and Patches do murder for different reasons. Pate murders out of compulsion.
Well,
He's psychopathic,
you
and
managed. I
Patches
hope
murders
that
because
be
he's
careful.
sociopathic and wants to steal your shit.
It allows undead.
But he's nice enough
with
to give
luck.
us a soapstone at the very least.
Well, I hope be careful.
Tells us to be careful, I'm not gonna worry. I have the power of God on my side, as shown by my gigantic hammer. Anyway, there are some hollows up here. I love how somehow that bastard managed to poison my attacks. But I can't do the same thing to him. Anyway, when it comes to the hollow soldiers, the different weapons, you can get their weapons in item drop. The one wielding a halberd can drop the halberd weapon. The one utilizing the spear can drop the winged spear weapon. Winged spear is a good weapon. Normal spear is pretty good in my opinion too. They're both good. Winged spear has longer reach, greater damage. Short spear has a more versatile moveset. Short spear in Dark Souls 2 has a sweeping attack. Over here we get a light crossbow. Might as well equip some bolts to show you how that works. Sadly, I don't have the strength to utilize the crossbow properly one-handed, but I do have enough to wield it properly if I hold it in both hands. And that comes in handy for these guys. So you can use the crossbow to take those guys out. There's an enemy over by that lamp. I'm sure you can see his shadow. There's an invisible hollow there. If you kill the invisible hollow, you can get a smooth and silky stone, a large smooth and silky, or if you're insanely lucky, anyway, let's take that guy out. I believe he can drop the S-stock, which would be nice. All soldiers gauntlets, that's fine. There's also an item up there. I don't think it's anything too crazy. I don't even know how you're supposed to properly get up there. Anyway, and there you get the mail breaker and an infantry helm. The mail breaker is a dagger that... Oh, the winged spear, the exact weapon I was talking about. Hopefully I'll be able to get enough dexterity to use it. Anyway, the mail breaker is basically a dagger... It's basically a rapier dagger equivalent, where it's basically a very small rapier that's hard and sharp and designed to break through enemy armor. Where did that guy go? That hollow... Oh, there he is. He's over there attacking the tree. Anyway, winged spear is a good weapon. Normal spear is a good weapon. Any spear is a good weapon, to be honest. Well, I mean, the good thing about this time is that I managed to kill the pursuer in the little mini-boss fight. I mean, not mini-boss fight, it's a full-on boss fight, but it's treated as a normal encounter. So I like to call that a mini boss fight. Amber herbs, past that ironclad. There's an item up there, but I'll go and get it later. Over here is a fog gate that functions as a shortcut. It basically, as you can see there by the pillars and the hole, this connects to the other side of the ladder in the Cardinal Tower. I hate the fact that these guys... Oh, hey, cool bastard sword. Anyway, I hate the fact that with these guys, their weapons don't adhere to contemporary physics, but mine do. Well, anyway, the game is slowing down like shit, so that's a good time for me to just get to the shortcut, hopefully, and stop the stream. Because I believe that means that my PC is overheating. Yeah, this is not good. Anyway, I'm just going to open this up and I'll make another play of this tomorrow. I'll also be doing Elder Scrolls later on Twitch. Not today, but on Monday. My schedule for the Elder Scrolls are as follows on Twitch: Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Tiny little bits of streams in between. Anyway, this connects back up to the Cardinal Tower. Oh, that guy's still alive. That guy was still alive. Is his friend still alive? His friend is still alive. His friend is currently alive, and now his friend was alive. Isn't grammar fun? Well, anyway, I'm gonna get up this ladder. I'm gonna terminate the stream now, and I'll talk to you guys later. First thing I'm gonna do is I'm going to increase my strength to the point where I can properly wield the longsword in my hand. Claymore, a very large greatsword, also very heavy and designed for use with both hands. Allows for broad sweeping attacks and stabs.
Is that a show? Here, to see how I...
Anyway, we can upgrade the Estus Blast chart with her. Estus Flask has been strengthened. The game is lagging like hot shit. Good God, send help. Anyway, I'm going to increase this by 10, increase this by 2. And I'm going to start putting some points into attunement, at the very least until I can get at least one attunement slot. And I'm also going to put some points in intelligence and faith. The base that I want for this at the very least is 9. I mean at 10 for each. My goal for this though is to bring it up to 20. Intelligence and faith. Anyway, I should be able to utilize the winged spear now. Let's take this shit off. I need to try and farm for some more souls. Okay, nail breaker. Winged spear, I almost have enough to utilize it in one hand. Keyboard Maz almost. Anyway, I have enough strength to utilize the fire longsword at the very least. One-handed. And I believe I have some soul items that I could pop because I want to get some arrows from all the grass. The shit from the Pursuer's Soul is cool and all, but I'm not that interested, let's be honest. Anyway, let's go buy an item. Said item I want to buy from him are some standard arrows. I can buy 110, that is good.
I'll be around.
Great, great.
Bearer of the curse. Less.
Yeah, that does it for this episode. I'm going to terminate the stream now. Anyway, I hope you guys had a good day, and I will talk to you later. Also, I hope you guys like the new typeface I have. I think it's very good. I like the grungy aesthetic of it. Anyway, I'm going to stop the stream now. Until then, hope you guys have a good day. Ta-ta!